It's been 8 months since we've been on interim. We thought we'd come and give it a clean. It is absolutely disgusting. I've got to get in the water and give it a scrub because we want to do some sailing. But Janet just got a Crocs caught in the mud.
Because it was so shallow that we had to pull the boat over in really shallow water, and unfortunately it's mud flat. And I got my feet caught and I couldn't get them out.
And you landed on your bum.
Fell on my backside.
And you got a wet bum. So don't go my clean boat with a wet bum.
Dirty though,
is it clean? No, it's good. It's wet, but it's not dirty. It's looking pretty good in here. This has survived 4 floods. And it just goes to show you all that work I did way back when. I put this damn wall in here on the washboard. I glued that in, and that has pretty much saved it. All the woodwork needs doing. Probably heaps of spiders in there, but it's not mouldy, is it?
Not that I can see.
Looks fantastic to be.
A little bit on the windows.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to have a good clean. I'm getting in the water. Jan's going to clean the inside.
There's mold here.
Yeah, no, it's going to need a good clean out. We can always take stuff back with us. Anyway, that was good work. I'll be in the water a bit soon. And then we got substantial growth. So I've got to get in a minute, and the water's pretty disgusting, and I don't want to spend a minimal amount of time in there as possible. So get a ratchet strap. And luckily I've got a swing keel so I can do the full length, but this is my idea. I'm not sure if someone else hasn't thought of it. I'm sure they have, but I reckon it's a good idea. Get your strap and just walk it down the boat. Clean all the crap off your hull before you get in, and then you should only be scraping barnacles off. Hopefully you're taking some barnacles off with it.
Just like to add, I was helping until I picked up the camera.
Yeah, I said film it. This might make us some money. How to clean out an anti-foul boat, clean a boat.
Well, the little ferry just went past and said, I've never seen anyone do that before. That's a really good idea.
And he said, put it on your YouTube channel. This is a winner, and it works.
And just for a change, guys, it's raining.
Yeah.
Look what arrived.
It was not supposed to rain.
Forecast 21 degrees and fine. Yeah, right.
Sunny.
It is over there, but just not where we are.
10th day of spring, it's still pissing. You might run into trouble when you get to the keel, but because our keel's up, we're not running into trouble.
Well, you just come back and put it on the other side of your keel. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science.
You gotta do it from the back. Welcome to the thankless task of cleaning the hull.
Anyway,
we did the strap. Did such a great job of taking off all the surface stuff, but it still needs a scrub. I just said to Janet, if you feel the boat sinking, I've obviously removed the wrong barnacle. But I've got my little tool here, and listen to this. Yeah, that's what 9 months of growth.
Neglect.
And I haven't even got to the keel yet. Oh mate, that's brutal. Right. Everything I do is hard work, honey.
Oh dear, because he's cleaning.
I'm getting
Something
too
that
old.
he doesn't do that often.
I'm getting too old for this.
He's not hearing me though.
I'm about to buy a bigger boat. God, I'll be cleaning it every week. Save me doing this.
Yeah, well, we'll be living on it then. It's a bit different.
God, I've just got about an inch of barnacles right here.
You're repeating yourself.
That's because I'm old. Thanks, Dal. I have given the helm station a great deal of time and a lot of thinking in getting this right, and even then you don't get it right. So I've come to a bit of a problem. My engine controls have arrived. They're C-Star dual engine control. They're quite nice. They're black with a nice chrome on them, and I originally had them planned to sit right here. The only thing is that on the port side, as I move it forward, it will actually strike this. Now I can move it right back here, but then I start to have problems with the engine gauges. The physical back of those protrude in about 2 inches into the actual module itself. Now I think I've got enough clearance, but what I've chosen to do is move it over slightly. I do have room here for monitors and some of my displays, but the other thing I've done is I've added a section up here on the top, and it serves 2 purposes. I intend to have a compass in the top of that. Now, I don't really have a lot of room for a compass around here, but if I put it up here, it means that we can look straight over the top of it. And very, very importantly, it also acts as a water dam. You can see here the lines are going to come down here through the clutches, which I so happen to have. big Lumar clutches. There'll be 8 of these across the top. This is a triple, and a double, and essentially they're going to be around about here. So I'll have my bank of 8 jammers, and these are all for up to 10 to 12 millimeter lines. And then I have a motorized winch, an Evo 50 power winch. I've also had to allow for the motor underneath, and I also have to beef this up that it can handle all this tension. So as you can see, there's actually another winch here, and as you can see, there's a lot going on, and I've got to get the geometry of this just right. I'll probably have this one right about here so that these 4 or any of these can operate off here, but I'm trying to get as much of a direct line with the clutches or these jammers as we can to minimize the stress on the jammer and also on the winch. But also this top part here will actually assist in reducing line foulage. And the other thing too is I'll have the self-tailing will actually tail off into a rope box down underneath here, and that'll house all of my lines. So I'm trying to keep everything nice and neat. I don't want to have bags and all those sorts of things. I want to have a physical compartment for most of my lines to go into. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot to deal with here. I'm not worried about it yet. The worst case scenario is I have 6 here and another 2 elsewhere, but I'd like to have most of my jammers in this area here. If I only have 6 here, that's okay, but if I can get 8, even better. So as you can see, I've got about a 5 centimeter high bank here, and essentially that is going to stop any water from entering the helm station from splashing anyway. And there will be obviously a clear around here at some point that's going to be attached to the cockpit pod roof that I intend to put on here. Just got to route this edge off here because I do want it rounded a nice radius and maybe perhaps a little bit of a bevel on there just to make it look a bit nicer so it's not quite as sharp. Then the cockpit roof will actually have a 20 millimeter foam edge all the way around here to stop any water running back in this way, basically from a rain point of view. And then I'm going to consider also that they'll make nice handholds as we're climbing in and out of the cockpit.
Now you recall a few months ago my ultimate score of a pair of davits off a Leopard 40 Catamaran. How I woke Sam, my son, up in excitement and asked him to go and collect them for me. Well, I thought it was about time I did a bit of a test fit to see if they'd be fit for purpose. Fitting it would give me the chance to see how it fit, and secondly, whether or not the tender would be lifted high enough to withstand a following sea. They weren't that easy to dry fit, really, but an acroprop was the key, jammed up underneath and a couple of ropes to hold it in place. We certainly got the picture of how the whole thing would take shape. Now, I'd also considered putting on a stainless type davit system that could raise and lower away from the boat. However, I think I love the look of these. I think they suit the vintage of the boat, and they're really going to come up a treat after a bit of cleanup.
I'm going to film this just in case it goes wrong. So, have you got a hard hat?
No, I haven't. One of the shirt I need. I probably do, don't it?
Worst case is it's just going to hang on the string. Go. See that hole? We might be going under an angle. Is it going up under the hole?
Yeah.
Can I sit it down or not?
Yeah, you can sit down if you like. Hang on, lift it up a little bit. Lift it up a little bit. Now go.
Is that touching the thing?
It is, but it's not touching the bottom of the boat. The hole's out from the boat, right?
No, okay. Just let me just lower it down a touch. Right, now wind it up. How's that?
Yeah.
Can you go any tighter?
I didn't want to crack it.
Just go a bit tighter.
Use that.
That was pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty cool, Jen. Hey, you reckon?
You made them really quickly.
Well, you're going to finish them.
Oh.
You're going to be the one polishing them up. What I like about it is it's going to get our tender right up above the height of the boat, which is, I don't want to dangle them below the waterline of the bridge deck. I have been doing a massive work on this rear cockpit lounge and cutting hatches and finalising the join between the stern and the deck, the stern of the hull and the deck, and I've pretty much got it within a metre. I've finished seaming inside. Now the issue I've got to do, I need to compartmentalise this back storage area, firstly to run conduits for steering and for obviously for some electrical which is going to run along the back, which is stern lights. But what I've come to the conclusion of here is I don't need a lot of bulkheads here. I probably only need two, but I need one here which basically stops anything from falling down into the engine room. So you can imagine we chuck something in here, into this compartment here, and the next minute it's down in there and it's fouling my prop shaft down there, so we do not want that. So we need a wall essentially here. So I've been in there and I've fashioned up a template here out of cardboard. There's no room for jigs or anything in there, and essentially I've got that pretty much ready to go. And then I've gone and cut two of them out of foam core. Now that's 10mm laminated, just with one layer of 600 double bias on each side. It's more than enough. It will provide virtually no strength, but certainly a very good barrier between the rear hatch and my engine room below, and it'll actually give me a little bit more storage inside the engine room, which I'm going to use as a tool shelf. So this one here, as you can see, I've already put that one in there, and I'll be getting in there and tabbing it in, filleting it in, and then tabbing it tomorrow. That's going to be a pretty ordinary job from up underneath, but certainly doable now that I've got access in there. And that one will go in pretty simply, and then the gap down the bottom there, I'm going to be able to fill it with just with cotton flock and some vinyl ester filler, and then I can basically call that good. And then I'll be cutting holes in the bottom of that to pass the conduits through. Alright, that's that bulkhead in and that bulkhead in. So it's not actually laminated in yet or tabbed in. Basically I've glued it with my filler, and that now has given me one large compartment all the way along the back there. Now I'm actually going to put a bulkhead straight down the centre. The important thing is I don't want anything to travel from there to there, but it is nice to have a long compartment on a boat to put things like fishing rods and poles and all those sorts of things that you may need. But I will put a compartment in the centre. Now the one thing I will do, I'll put two large conduits, and they'll probably be 90 by 45mm that can carry the hydraulic lines and some wiring. Very, very important that I have access right across there, because this is the only passage across the bridge deck that I have on the entire boat. The only other one I have really is across the inside of the dinette module, and in fact I do have another one here along the back wall of the cabin. It'll only be a small one, but probably about 50mm. But yeah, it's pretty difficult to get information from one side to the other, so I could run an NMEA backbone across the back or across the dinette module more likely. Oh, look what's just arrived. It's very exciting. That is the back doors and windows for our boat. There's a mortgage in that on its own. Now, these were made by Alfab up in Brisbane, and they are pretty much one of the only window manufacturers that do boats. These guys were the only ones that could actually do this particular job. It has a very defined shape. It's a quad bifold, and I'm pretty happy to have that here all palleted up, and hopefully not being damaged on the way down. But we paid extra for the box to get made, and I'm pretty happy to do that, you know, because you just don't want to have to replace something like this. What do you think about that?
I don't know, after I look around the bubble.
Very nice. I think we'll open. Wow, that looks amazing. Janet Boardman. It's got your name on it.
I ordered it.
This is Janet's expense. This one. Let's open one up.
Do you want to open it?
No, you open it. That is just unbelievable quality.
It's beautiful.
Fantastic. So this is our helm side window.
Actually, that's good. It's at the top because then you'll be able to yell through from the helm.
Pass me a coffee while I'm on watch. Unbelievable. Absolutely beautiful. I want to open all now. Kitchen window.
See if you can keep the bubble wrap together.
Can't believe how good they are. They are so just absolutely beautiful. Wow.
Oh, how nice are they?
They are amazing. It's got your name on it though, Janet. Well, what I love is,
Oh, I didn't realise that one opened.
oh,
Lovely.
oh, it's a water dam. Stop water coming.
Sorry, I'm good.
It's got a base there. I can't believe the quality of the finish on it.
See? When I spend lots of money, I spend it on the right stuff.
Yeah, don't give Janet your checkbook. Mine does nothing compared to what I've spent. How good's this? Janet, baby.
Don't fall on it.
They are amazing. Oh, I think it'll be strong enough to handle.
I hope so, but let's not test it.
It's nice actually not have to fabricate something. I was going to make the doors out of foam, and probably should have, but
No. No, you shouldn't. I want it to look like this.
no, this is the bit that you're going to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry to let everybody down.
You haven't let anyone down, especially me. I wanted the proper door. I know yours would have been proper, but you would have had to
I
spend...
would have built them up.
Yeah, but it would have took you months, and that's months we're not on the water, so I figured this is worth paying for.
We're not sponsored by Alfab, but I'll tell you what, easy to deal with.
Yeah.
Alfab.com.au, ALFAB.
They were easy to deal with, weren't
Wade
they?
was so easy. Basically, Janet called him within 5 minutes. We were on our way, and paid. The paper.
Well, it might be unlocked. Okay.
Oh, magic.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Keep hold of that, daughter.
So we can have it totally open.
Brilliant.
So it's not quite like a sea wind bifold, but it's
Lift up.
good you get. I love it.
Oh, I'm so glad we got that.
That is just amazing. Thank you, Wade. You've done an awesome job, you guys.